Hey guys, hi. So welcome back to Kate's Regretless Life. Today we are going to get into another bonus read, general message. So this morning as I went on a big old hike with my doggy, he ran up this pretty steep cliff. And I didn't think, it was easy to climb up it, but he got to the ridge of a mountain and then he would not come back down. And I was hollering at him and I had to go up there myself. And by the time I got up to where he was, he didn't want to come down. The vantage point from up there, it seemed like a drop off. It seemed like a very dangerous cliff to be up at the top of. It wasn't really, but the perspective shift, because it was just just the right kind of erosion of a sandstone cliff, that it really gives the impression that it's like, wow, that's a long way down, even though it's actually quite sloped. So instead of being able to even encourage him to come down, I instead had to scramble up to the top, and we had to walk the rim of this mountain and then come down a whole different route. And it got me thinking very much about that perspective. Sometimes we go so far up something that, from where we were and the climb that we were making, it didn't seem like a big deal. But by the time you get to the top, it's like, I don't see the way down anymore. I don't know how to get back down. I don't know, how do I change where I am now? And I feel like that's the story for today, is someone maybe has gone too far up something and they don't know how to come back down. They don't know. I don't know if they've done wrong. I don't know if we start out with this 9 of coins. This is single, personally abundant. This is doing great. This is having the funds that you want to have. This is having everything that you need and a sense of harmony and peace. So why then does the storyline begin? Ooh, and the sun. Okay, so somebody's out there having a good time. They're doing their single life. They're having a ball. They're actually really enjoying every aspect of it. Also has to do with divine timing. It has to do with something coming in. Okay, and now here comes the conflict. So maybe this part is the equivalent of my puppy climbing up that mountain, having a good old time, and I'm fine with it until he won't come back down. If this is all about to see the divine timing at play, but then to morph into that 5 of Swords, that is Lovers in the reverse, King of Swords upright. Somebody realizes that them doing what they chose to do, them exploring their own happiness, they're almost defensive that, yeah, I wanted to do that for me, but it cost them a relationship possibly, and they're just now kind of recognizing that. If somebody has to go their own way, work on themselves, live the life that they got to live, and we want them to do that, right? We want everybody to, have that self-actualization and everybody to find their pathway through something. But now we've got the Fool card came out sideways. Now there's this awareness that somebody would almost have to take a leap of faith forward if they want to change their circumstances. So this somebody is either kind of feeling a little bit foolish, like maybe somebody broke off a connection and went a different direction for a period of time. And they're like, you know what? I'm loving my single life. I'm getting my life back on track. I'm doing everything I need to do. And then one day it's like, oh my God, so much time has passed. I had intended to return to something else, but now there's this defensive energy. Like I just feel like somebody is feeling super defensive because it did cost them a relationship. It cost them a romance. And I think that it's just now sinking in. Being single, doing what they wanted to do. I mean, by all means, do what you need to do. But it's like they were protecting that. And this could have even been somebody who was always pulling away at a loving connection, saying, I don't want a connection. I want to be single. I'm loving my single life. You're not going to, whatever. If they looked at relationships as like a ball and chain, or they looked at something like, no. Later on, anyone who wants to be in a relationship with me, they need to understand that I'm going to fight that tooth and nail because I'm loving my single life. I like what I do. And that's totally fine, right? Somebody has every right to do what they want. But in this story, now we see the Lover's card in the reverse, Gemini energy. So we have Leo, we have Gemini, we have Aquarius. To me, this is starting to look like somebody is... Tell me why we have the Fool card here at all. I feel like somebody is starting to recognize, did I make the right choice? Or did I go too far? Did I go too far up that mountain and push love away for so long that now I can't come back down? Yeah, 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands in the Chariot in the reverse. This person maybe thought, well, I can always come back in later and be like, okay, now I'm ready for a commitment. But I'll slow walk that. Only now I feel like the big change with this Fool card that came out sideways, this person realizes that they actually... they've been placed into a category now of a friend zone. Like, well, you weren't there, you weren't committed, you weren't wanting to be committed, so I've moved on without you. I'm not your option. You can't actually... And it's almost like this person wants to bend the bars and climb back in. But even then, they maybe want to climb back in, but they still don't know what they want to do. That we have emotionally up in the air, feeling some chaos. It's like I say, I could tell my pup was distressed by the time he got to the top, because he was scared to come back down, but he wanted to come to me. So instead he was like, will you please come up here, because I can't come down and get to you. It's a little of that, like somebody doesn't want something to be over and they're just now realizing that it is. But first they were fighting tooth and nail against this, saying they didn't want it. They're single, they're loving their life. You don't get to tell me that I need to be a partner when I don't want to be a partner. And so somebody said, okay, you don't have to be a partner. Only now it's like, but wait, I didn't say I didn't want to be a partner. I just wasn't sure when I would be ready. Now somebody this is a struggle, because what do they really want? The Fool card. Do they take a leap of faith forward and try to come in and be in a relationship? I feel like this could be a story where somebody really still thought that they would always have an option, that later they could have an option, they could come in. Oh my gosh, seriously. This reading could not be more repetitious, could it? And this is how the cards came out also in this order. So we have the 10 of Cups first, we have the 2 of Wands second, and then we have the 9 of Pentacles. Somebody sits smack dab in the middle of, I don't know what I want. I can be in a loving, wonderful connection with a partnership, or I can be single and I just love my single life. This is where somebody sits. They don't know. That's what all this is about. They don't want their option to be gone. They feel foolish that they ruined an option, but they also don't know what they want to do. Do they want to move forward? So somebody still sits here. The one thing that I think is interesting is I'm not sure why they think they still have an option. So that sounds rude, but I'm not sure why they think that someone who said, okay, you want to be single and free, you can go. I'm not sure why they think that they could still come back in and just snap that back up. I feel like this person's got a little bit of maturing to do here. If they're thinking that they get to call all the shots in this story, let me see. Tell me, what is the other person thinking? What is the other person thinking? The one who said, okay, bye. Ooh, Devil and the High Priestess. The other person got their number. The other person looks at this person as maybe toxic, somebody that they don't want to tangle with. That this person, it's as if they know, because this is intuition. This is intuition, knowing that the person who somebody would like to keep them perhaps attached. And I feel like that's an awareness. It's like, I know that this person says that they want to be single and solo, but I also know that they want to be with me. But I know that more than anything, what they really want is to make sure that they always have me somehow waiting on hold. And this is not healthy because I'm the Empress. The Empress doesn't get put on hold. The Empress is like, man, if somebody's lucky enough to find an Empress, snatch up that Empress quick, and then you treat the Empress right, because that's a precious and rare find. Somebody realizes that they are the Empress to this person, and this person even knows it, but they are still so attached to some other kind of, and maybe with that Devil card, you know, the Devil card can represent all kinds of addictions. It can represent all kinds of negative ideas in someone's head, their lack of self-worth. It can represent them being chained and attached to something that isn't really in their greatest and highest good, but they just don't know how to set themselves free. But whoever the other person is, they recognize this for what it is. We got Capricorn, we got Libra, Taurus. So what is the person who's been single and who's been fighting the connection? What do they want? Really, what do they want? I don't know. I want to sit here forever and not ever move the chess game, because I got to first contemplate all these different options of how my life could go. And is this really what I want? Or is this, what if I did this and then I could still have that and then I could still have that? This is somebody who is, I think that they have an overinflated idea of what, they think that all the choices are up to them. And I feel like they don't understand that their behavior has actually demonstrated to the other person who they are. And it's not about them choosing what they want. It's about when we show somebody our actions, the other person gets to decide, do I like your actions? Would I choose you as my partner? I think they've forgotten that critical part of this, because they still sit here not knowing what to do, thinking that they can still like waltz on in and have this beautiful 10 of Cups. Well, this is precious. I mean, the 10 of Cups is, oh man, if you're lucky enough to find that in this lifetime, you are so like stinking like blessed by the universe. If you're lucky enough to find it with the person of your dreams, you are so blessed beyond belief. And yet this person is sitting here kind of like, do I want a peanut butter sandwich today? Or do I want a burrito? It's like, I feel like it's all well and good to have our choices, but I feel like we need to keep in perspective a Princess of Pentacles in the reverse. By the time you get around to thinking about making an offer, someone may not want that pentacle after all. There may not be an opportunity for a new beginning anyway, because of this behavior. I want to know, what is the purpose of this? Why am I doing this reading? What is the purpose of this? From the perspective of the individual I'm going to call the Empress, what is the perspective of this reading, the purpose of this reading for the Empress? Hold on. We lost one. Okay. Queen of Swords. It's about putting up boundaries. It's about being really truthful with oneself, also asking oneself, what do I want? Even though it's so interesting because she seems to be so aware, you know, Cancerian energy, she's got the deep level of intuition to understand the intricacies of maybe the situation and even know that this person does love her, but this person is also possibly just very, I almost want to say that we have this other level of, there's this, and I wanted to say this before, and maybe I should have just said it, but there's this imperious attitude in this. So whoever sits here and goes, do I want the peanut butter sandwich or a burrito? You know, they're reducing something so sacred and so special to something where it's like it's every other choice in their life that they make, because they operate kind of from I almost want to say like this hoity-toity energy of, well, it's always all up to me. And to one extent, our lives are all up to us. But it's almost like they found someone that they know is really amazing and that they even put on a pedestal. And yet, because they know that that person is truly their equal, and I feel like this person knows that they know I am their equal, they are actually, I'm going to say, in a strange way, it's like a power struggle thing is what I feel like. There's a power struggle. Like, I've never sat beside someone who was my equal before, and I've met my equal now. So if I'm in a relationship with my equal, I know that we rule equally. This person has been used to being in charge. This person is always doing what they want, when they want, how they want. And they've always perhaps had partnerships that allowed that. Maybe they didn't really bond tightly to any other partnership because they enjoy that imperious attitude where they do what they want first, foremost, and always. Their voice is the loudest in the room. They make their personal decisions on what they want to do at all points in time. But if they are with a partner who is their equal, who they would have to, it's like the worth of this person has never been in question. And the individual who is still admittedly kind of being pushed away and treated like a peanut butter sandwich, they still know deep down that, strangely, I also know that this person does not think of me as a peanut butter sandwich. They see me as their truest equal they've ever encountered. And that is why we run. That is where the fear is. That is where it's like, oh man, it's such a strange, I don't know if I've explained that very well, because it's a hard message to get out and find the right words, because it's such a, I feel like a contradiction in that. But the Empress, so the purpose of this for the Empress is, interestingly enough, it's not that the Empress steps down from being the Empress, but she falls back on some of her skills that she carries with her. And let's not forget, we are, even though I'm talking about them being like an imperious couple, we have the King and the Queen of Swords now that have come out. There's even this element of her putting up boundaries and speaking to them on this level. I feel, let me put it this way, I feel like the Empress knows that this is a much more divine connection. And she knows that subconsciously they know it as well. Now, it could be any gender, but if I say she, it's only because I'm talking about an Empress, and, you know, King and Queen. So it's as if she knows that this is super divine. She also knows that subconsciously they know it, but they're not ready for something that heavy, that serious. So instead, she's taking it down a notch to look at it from a less sacred view and just say, okay, but even if energetically we are connected in the higher realms, because I do look at the emperors and empresses as having that connection in the 5D as well as the 3D. But she says, but what do I need to do in the 3D? In the 3D, I need to have boundaries up with this cat. It's that simple. You don't treat me like that. There's boundaries, there's expectations. I will be respected. And there's a truth, and she's being real truthful with herself. What is this truth? The truth is it's time for her to move on and not be stressed out about it. Because waiting, an Empress doesn't wait. And if this individual is going to continuously keep things as an option or going to be undecided, even though they know all along how much happiness this would bring, she's being very realistic with herself, not having any distress over it, no stress at all, and saying, there is more than one amazing match out there for someone like me. The only tragedy would be if I don't keep moving and keep growing. Then that would be me stepping down from my status as the Empress and not living to the fullest extent that my life is supposed to be lived and enjoyed. She is getting unstuck from this. She is releasing herself in a big way because it's not that she had a moment of clarity about them. She already knew about them. She has a moment of clarity for herself that there's no more anxiety about this. In fact, it's a relief, because if somebody is going to keep running from this connection, nothing should hold her back from her own growth. Nothing should, in a weird way, it's as if let's go back to the analogy at the beginning where I had to climb to the top of the ridge of that mountain to get to my dog. And then I too was like, oh, wow, there's no way back down from here, because the vertigo was setting in for me. And I'm like, never mind, we'll find a new route. And that's what I did. And we went a longer route, got a little more exercise, took a different pathway down that wasn't quite so treacherous, and he could handle it. And so could I. It's like that. Like you're finding another, wow. Oh, this person's about to lose that Empress. That Empress, first, she may be like completely, not that she ever lost her self-worth, but she's like beefing it up big time. She may be suddenly extremely successful in business. It doesn't have to be a she. Keep in mind, guys, this can be you too. If somebody was like making you an option, couldn't settle down, couldn't make a decision, you simply, it's not even about letting it go. It's about just you moving into your prosperity and you taking a leap of faith in a whole new direction. Could be with an Aquarian, could be with Sagittarius. This is, that this is not, there's not just one song on the radio that you love, right? There are a lot of different genres of music out there. And by that, I mean people. And it's so interesting because she's recognized, I was a little stuck, but I'm not anymore. I see the truth, and it's me who has to set myself free of this. And it's even, I would argue, it's even that if she's been waiting, kind of holding her breath, understanding this person, trying to give them time, she goes, what am I doing giving anybody time to figure out how valuable I am? I know how valuable I am, and a lot of other people do too. There's this element where there's no waiting involved here. And it's not because this isn't still or couldn't be a sacred union. It's that, why would I wait for someone to make a choice? I'm the one who makes choices. This is my life. I almost forgot that this is my life. I'm not waiting for the universe to fix someone else so they see what the life could be that we could have together. I have a life that I'm supposed to live. So I really feel like this is an individual, masculine or feminine, who is completely freeing themselves from this question mark. And what's interesting is that the other person may not even know this. They're still sitting here thinking that they've got, what do I want to do? I just don't know. That they may now be the ones who are perpetually stuck in the I'm not sure, not realizing that the Empress has moved on. So let me take a look here. Let's see, what is the purpose of this reading for them? Whoever them are, masculine or feminine. I'm going to refer to it as the King of Swords, though, just because I needed an identifier just for like clarity's sake. The World card. They needed to get out of this cycle and actually take charge of their life. The World card is about a brand new beginning. It's about gaining wisdom. What does that mean, though? Wisdom about what? How does that fall? Is it that they want to stay single and they need to be single, and that is their preferred choice? Justice card in the reverse. Libra. In my readings, when justice comes out in the reverse, it's actually when we make something that was unfair balanced. Also, I would argue that it's when we make a choice. And as you can see, we actually have two individuals here. This is where somebody's going to make a commitment one direction or another. What does that mean? Maybe this person had two options. Maybe it was, we have Nine of Swords in the reverse. So they're getting unstuck from, wow. Nine of Swords in the reverse. I'm not stressed anymore. I'm no longer worried about things because I'm going toward my Empress. I'm sorry. I know somebody out there is going, what? But here's the thing. I'm going toward my Empress because I actually see that she's super abundant. She has a sense of self-worth and her own single energy. I didn't realize that she was never trying to like hold me down. She was never trying to take away my personal sense of self. An Empress doesn't do that. She has her own sense of self. It's like someone hadn't seen that. And now, I don't know, there may be a letter coming in with this Eight of Coins. Now they want to work on things. Now they're so sure. It's so crazy because just when the Empress goes, I ain't waiting. Why would I wait on someone to know how amazing I am? I know how amazing I am. I was being courteous by giving them a hot minute to figure it out, but I realized maybe I was a little like delaying something in my life. Yeah, no. They mistook my courtesy for like maybe I don't know. It's like this person kept thinking that to be in a relationship, they would lose their independence. But they hadn't realized that the Empress herself is a fiercely independent, powerful individual, just as they have fancied themselves. Like, I'm always the lone wolf. I do things my way. I've got this, huge sense of independence. I don't want anyone to take that from me, not realizing that an Empress doesn't take that from you. An Empress is your equal complement, but they have their own sense of individuality, and you best not try to take that from the Empress either. It's so crazy to me the way this reading has gone, because it's so much about almost like somebody finally recognizes who they were looking at, because she's not an option anymore for this person. And now they're energetically, now they want to choose that because, oh my God, you're just like me. You're single, you're personally abundant. You have all this strength, all this wealth. You make your own money. You have your own thing. You are your own thinker. Yeah, you always were. This person, though, is just now wanting to work on things. So tell me about the 8 of Coins. Oh my God, this reading is craziness. 8 of Coins, hold on, what deck? We'll go this route. Okay, 8 of Coins, tell me about the 8 of Coins. Ooh. 6 of Coins, yeah. So now somebody wants to work on things and they want to have this equal, wonderful partnership and relationship. Wow, I can just see how we match each other so great now. Really. This story, keep in mind, this is only a story, right? It is not your story. It is not. It is a story. We've got the Tower. Tell me about the Tower. Everything has to change. Everything. This is, I don't think that, oh wow, 8 of Wands. I feel like somebody pushed and shoved a connection away, did all the little ghosting, all the little, whatever that stuff is, because that 5 of Swords, every word was, okay, now I'm defensive. Everything that was said, it was always going to turn into like, I'm going to feel defensive about this or about that, trying to push things away and maintain that sense of freedom. And really, like, my little doggy ran all the way up until they got up to the top. And then it was like, uh-oh, I don't know how to come back down. And I want to, but I can't. And it's, what's so interesting about this is that it's like both people have gained something out of this, right? The one who kept like running away, feeling like, no, I need my independence, without realizing the other person was never chasing them. I was never chasing my dog. I wanted my dog to come back down because he's supposed to come back down because we got to get home. But it wasn't like, I don't chase my dog. My dog has to come to his name. But he wanted to, but he was already too far up. He couldn't come back down. So he was looking for another route without him really realizing and without me realizing what he was up to. And then finally I had to join him up there. And then I saw why he couldn't come back down. It's like this weird perspective shift where once you walk in someone else's shoes, you see it differently. And I feel as if this is how it is for this King of Swords. Once they see it through the eyes of the Empress, it's like, oh, wow, the Empress is actually like me. They were never trying to harness me or keep me stuck. They're independent too. They thought that we could have complemented each other, but not that they wanted to like engulf me. And it's interesting, that word engulf came up in one of the other readings just the other day, huh? Sorry, I have only certain vocabulary. But this massive change has everything to do with, I feel like somebody suddenly has to come in. They have to start talking. They have to start saying all of this. It's like somebody has this big old epiphany. Somebody has some huge epiphany. I'm not sure if it's, I need to still ask about that 8 of Coins one more time. That's a key point. Why is that a key turning point? What is that about? Is that about like money changes and somebody goes, wow, all my independence, all of this, all of that, everything wow. Four of Pentacles, or Four of Pentacles, Four of Wands in the upright, Death card in the reverse. There was something here where maybe in the release, maybe this Empress actually sent them some letter that said, I'm totally releasing you and I'm moving on. And they suddenly realized, I don't want to see the Empress move on. This is my happiness. I don't want this to be over. But it's like the Empress must have said something, is all I can figure. Or they got some kind of letter, some kind of message that suddenly made them want to work on things. It was the way the Empress conducted themselves. It was the way the Empress let go, maybe, to say, well, I'm moving on. You clearly don't want this, and I'm not trying to hold on to you. So fly, be free. That's cool with me. You go your way. And I feel like there's something about that. Maybe it is because that was no longer an option and they realized that option is gone. But that's also when they realized the Empress never tried to hold on to me. They gave me opportunity, but they weren't trying to, reel me in. It's because the Empress knows if she wants something, she's willing to, say, well, of course I want this. Oh, but you don't want this? Okay, then you're free to go. I feel like that's the difference. Maybe this person had only known people that would hook them, reel them in, and then keep those fish hooks in. Maybe that's why they fear the connections, or that's why they move further and further away if there's anything that starts to like pull them in. Like emotions pull us in, they pull us together, but that hopefully is a nice thing as long as it's done with that non-controlling kind of energy. But this is very interesting. Someone suddenly sees this person as their Four of Wands, their 11-11. They don't want this over. Something got revealed. You see with this Death card, I almost feel like the Empress must have revealed something about them. I keep feeling like there was a letter exchange. There was some conversation. There was something, and they've thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. And they realized the Empress is dead serious. She's moved on. She's let go. She's not going to hold her life back because someone didn't want to join her. Onward I go. And that somehow it revealed something to them. Maybe their fears, where their fears stemmed from, why they kept running from their Empress. Boy, I did not expect this reading to go this way. But the major change here is now somebody wants to give equally. Now they see the person as their equal partner. And now this huge tower that held this whole thing in this stagnant, captive energy, massive change. Somebody may suddenly take really dramatic action. If you've been held captive in your mind for a long time and then suddenly you feel better, you know how it's like spontaneous tears or laughter. It's like, oh my God, I'm so relieved. I didn't even know how stressed out I was. This is amazing. I feel so much better. Or if someone had been literally, stuck in a situation, think about kids getting out of the classroom and running, like crazy on their recess. It's because they need to run off that energy. I feel like somebody suddenly feels that burst of energy. The stagnancy is over. They may also feel a sense of urgency because they know this whole messed up little, we're never coming together, but we're never letting go of each other kind of energy, that's ended. The Empress set herself free. And now somebody comes racing in. Eight of Wands. Now I want to talk. I have so much to say. Now it could be somebody, flying to get to the other. Are you flipping kidding me? I knew it. So we got the Judgment card. You saw how that flipped up. I could see the monkey. Even in the camera, I could see a flash of this peach colored, and it's the only card in the deck that looks like this. And I could see the little peach of the monkey's suit. Somebody wants to fix this. They want to be together. Can we restore this? The fact that it flipped and then landed in my lap, that's, can we be together? Can we? Three of Cups. We might be. Can do it. There's a big possibility here. Can we come together in a happy environment? Can we be celebratory? Can we have happiness together instead of the runner chaser? Well, it was never a chaser. See, that's the part of this. There was a runner, but there was never a chaser. There was like a patient offer and somebody who ran around and around and around. It's like if you've ever tried to feed like a wild chipmunk. Sorry, I don't know if I use great. I love those little ground squirrels, those little chipmunk guys, but they zip all over. Even if you have like a handful of, sesame seeds, or not sesame seeds, but sunflower seeds or something, they want it, but they run around, and then maybe they jump in, grab one, and then they zip off again. It's a little like that. And then finally go, okay, enough of that. they can find their own nuts. It's one of those things where the only way that this is going to come back together is if we see significant change, and if this can be happy. Can this be happy? No more of the dodging, no more of the, ooh, I don't know, I'm going to zigzag so that you can't catch me. Like, that is not something that the Empress engages in. We got a Six of Wands. It did come out in the reverse. I'm a little concerned that the Empress may be saying, I'm not so sure I see success here. This could go any direction. Just because there's a lack of success in the moment doesn't, oh gosh, Two of Cups, Six of Cups in the upright. I feel like the context of the conversation is this. Okay, so somebody's racing in to try to have this conversation. Big old conversation. And the context of the conversation is, can we try this all over again? Well, can we really be happy? Can we come together in happiness? Truly happy. One person wants that. The other person says, I don't really know. I'm not so sure that you see me as I am. I'm not so sure that I see success here, because you sure didn't make me feel very successful with you. I'm not so sure about this. But this is coming back together. And this is a twin flame energy. I'm going to end this one here because it is it is another twin flame story. And I don't even feel the way about twin flames that everybody else seems to. So it's really funny that I have to continuously read those readings when I feel different about them. I will say there's one other interpretation that I could say. One person might be saying, look, I do love you, but I've recognized you're a soulmate. And the other person is saying, no, I've recognized you are my twin flame. You are, I feel like that both of those could be storylines here. Perhaps the Empress is saying, look, darling, I love you. You're a part of my life, but all that jazz that we did, I really am moving on. I don't want that kind of jazz, and it's left too much of a sour taste. But you know what? I love you, but you're a soulmate now. You're in the group of people that I care for, but you're not my main. You're not my main one. That's not who I'm holding my breath for anymore. There's somebody else out there for me. But I'm glad you're back in my life in a different format, because I've assigned you a new position at the table, and you don't get to sit right next to me. We're not the Emperor Empress heads of the table anymore. I've changed from that. That could be what the Empress is saying, and the other person is saying, but you're my twin flame. We are the Emperor Empress. We are the divine union. That could be happening here. But on the other hand, it could simply be, we are coming back together to make really wonderful memories. We are coming together to work in cooperation. We are soulmates and twin flames. Kate out. That's all I can say on this story. I don't know. This story it's so funny because that twin flame card is the Epic of Gilgamesh. And epic is right. I mean, my God, what was this? 38 minutes and 49 seconds? Wow. Okay. You know what? My hike took a little bit longer than that this morning, actually, because it was quite a roundabout hike that I had to take with puppykins. But it was a good workout. And this reading feels like a good workout. All right. That was lots of creative storytelling. Everyone be well. I wish everyone every ounce of success, whatever your story may be. Bye.